because you like them. No, they're your neighbor. No, you're your friend. You don't like them, and thus you object. No. No. Now, do you remember when I said, please stick in here? Has a reputation for getting along well with most other people most of the time. Notice how conditional that is. It's got all these modifiers in it. Most people most of the time. The reason I'm doing that is that who among us basically is, Mother Teresa? Just Teresa herself, probably. Okay, so that allows us to do what we sometimes might want to do. One of the biggest, scariest decisions a person may ever have in a community is to have personal courage when it comes to something like this. Bet you all know what I mean, right? Do you know who Tree Bresson is? Mm-hmm. She says something, one of my favorite quotes of hers is, she says something like, there's no substitute for personal courage when it comes to living in community. I thought, oh my God, right on Tree. You're absolutely right. Okay, so if we already have that in here, and that is the reason, because somehow a bunch of us nominated Hildegard, even though Hildegard acts like that a lot of the time. For some reason, our facilitator, possibly in a moment of losing their brains, proposed Hildegard, even though we all know, or some of us know, or then somebody may feel obligated, or several somebodies may feel obligated to object. It's a whole lot easier if we can tie it to one of the reasons, and a whole lot harder if we didn't include that. If we didn't include that, it means that we have to say it, and then someone else can say, it's not on the list, you're out of line. Now, I want to tell you something that you know already, and that is, in community, there's folks that are willing to step up and say the difficult things. They may or may not say them with more or less degree of skill and diplomacy. And then there are people who are sitting there silently thinking, yay, somebody finally said that. You know that, right? And then there's others who might actually not just silently think, yay, they say something like, me too, or I think so too. And then there are the people, are you ready for this? You already know this. We're going to be furious with that person. Furious, and will verbally attack them in the meeting publicly for having said that thing. How can you say that about Hildegard? Have you no regard for her feelings? Do you not have any empathy or compassion? What kind of human being are you? Now, this is a person who's horribly embarrassed, feeling a lot of, I would guess, I'm guessing, shame, feeling a lot of, I'm guessing, pain and fear, and wanting to take it out on you. And here you are trying to help the community. Okay, let's say there are folks who would have spoken up to back up Charlotte. Silent as a tomb, because they don't want that to happen to them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
yes,
not a clue.
If I say this to any community group, everybody knows exactly what I mean, except for the new people. And the new people often say, well, I just don't think a person in the community would behave like that. And everybody else falls out of their chair shrieking with laughter.
Or they say, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
So what I want to do is take what I know about sociocracy and what I know about human nature to the degree that I know, and that what I know about communities, and put it all together and say, oh, please put that one in here. Because if I have an inkling that maybe I have a reputation for conflict, even though it isn't true and they're all wrong, those jerks, then I may not nominate myself, even though I might otherwise do so. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So thank you for letting me tell you this. Did Gerard Hindenburg come up with this? Does this come out of the Netherlands? No way, Jose. Do sociocracy trainers who teach this to businesses mention such a thing? Wouldn't occur to them. We who live in community need to help each other out with these matters, and that's what this is about.
So you could say something like, she has great qualities and she has a bit of a reputation for being involved in conflicts.
Well, she's sitting there, so you say you. You wouldn't say she.
You, but as you're choosing the people.
Yeah, it's worse, isn't it?
But you say to the person what their qualifications are.
Well, you'd say to everybody, but you wouldn't want to call she a person sitting there, right? Because, well, you might.
So at what point are you doing this? So you're doing, so I have nominated Hildegard, and you are this facilitator, and you ask me why I nominated her, and I'll say,
you'll say because
this, and this, and she has a reputation for
No.
conflict.
Let's back up. No, hold on. Okay, let's back way up. Okay. You nominated Hildegard on the paper.
Yeah.
And then you say why.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a change round and you don't change it. You keep it Hildegard. You don't say anything except the reasons you nominated her, which are all beneficial.
Yes.
She could do the job, in your opinion. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She has a reputation for conflict, but maybe you don't know that. Or maybe it doesn't matter to you. Okay, now.
She's your best friend.
Yeah, she's your best friend and you went, and she.
I think I understand the answer to my
Did we
question.
get to
It's
the-
already on the list of requirements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody in the meeting
Yes.
says it.
That's
It's
the
already
point.
on it.
That's
Yes.
the point. That's the point.
Yay.
Yeah, that's right. If we put it on the list, maybe you won't nominate her if you happen to know that.
Good.
But let's say you did. Let's say you did. Okay. Now we get to the consent round. Now let's say that I, as a facilitator, have some kind of senior moment and somehow propose Hildegard. And so now I say, for the role of care team operations leader in charge of conflict resolution, I propose Hildegard. Oh, and the fox to guard the hen house. Oh, I nominate Hildegard. And so then we have a kind of dead silence in the room. And people are thinking, are they going to get up the courage to do it or not? And so person after person says, no objection, no objection, no objection, no objection. Why? Because they're chicken shit, that's why. And then we get to the person who is willing to do it. And they have a reason.
And so at that point, I would say, Hildegard, you have a reputation for being involved in conflicts. I'm not sure this is my objection. I'm not sure this is the role for you.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Here's another way to do it. We could practice ways to do it. You know?
Ah, that would be great.
Let's do that. Okay, here's what I would do if I had the cojones, which I often do through bravado and too many planets in Aries. Okay, so I might say, and let's say you're Hildegard. Okay, and let's say you're the facilitator. I'd say, and you'd say, look at me and I go, objection. And you'd say, thank you, we'll get back to you. And everybody's going, and then, you know, we're done. And then you say, okay, what's your reason? And I say, well, I'm objecting to Hildegard. See, I think I need to address her because it's rude to, like, not look at her. Yeah, glare at me, go ahead. We're making this real, right? I mean, look at her, she's so good. She's an actor. She doesn't look at that eyeball. I'm getting the evil eye and it's actually having an effect on me. Okay, the reason
Accomplished actress.
I know she's an actress. Well, I'm an actress too, so let me just throw it right back. The reason that I am objecting, Hildegard, is while I appreciate your many wonderful qualities, including when you fixed the community building by yourself after the storm knocked it down and you put it back together with a backhoe. In addition to things like that I appreciate, I think that in this role it wouldn't be the right thing at the right time because in my opinion you have a reputation for not getting along with people as well as I think we need the person in this role to do.
What?
Yeah, that's my reason. All right, I want you to all nod. And then I say, Anka, I want you to shout out, Diana, why did you just attack Hildegard?
Diana, that was so cruel of you to attack Hildegard.
Thank you, my only friend.
Have any compassion in your heart? She's the best, my best friend. Go and take it back now.
But I'm the only one who says the emperor has no clothes here on our parade in ancient China with the naked emperor here. Yeah, well, this
And
is...
what a gift that is. Thank you.
Oh, if only somebody would say that.
Yeah,
Honesty.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be great? What if
I think it's possible that the person might say, you know, you're right, and I didn't really want it anyway.
It's possible. It is also possible that the person will say, watch this, the imperial hurt dignified rise out of the chair. I will never attend any community event ever again.
It has happened.
What's happened in my community too?
That's what I was talking about.
You to the bathroom again.
Yeah. and then there's these two things that happen. One thing is some people are going, and other people are silently thinking. And other people are going, wait, don't please.
Yeah.
And then they say, don't you understand? We have to take care of Hildegard's feelings. Imagine how bad she's feeling right now. And then some
This is
smart ass.
not the spirit of co-housing.
Oh, yeah. The classic, yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
The classic manipulation lining intentional communities is general. This is not community. And when somebody tries to bamboozle you with that, I want you to think manipulation line, whether they consciously realize it or not. But when we're in co-housing, it gets even more intense. That's not co-housing. A special co-housing people that aren't like those hippies that are in those other communities like Diana at Earth Haven. You know, there's this sort of co-housing thing, you know. This is simply not like co-housing. We don't do that in co-housing. That's not co-housing. Bullshit, it is too. So here's the thing. When that person is running after Hildegard, and they're trying to manipulate you into thinking that you're an uncompassionate bastard because you're just sitting there and not running after her too.
Bitch. Bitch. Not a bastard, a bitch.
It depends on your gender, I guess.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, the point is, that's a thing that happens, isn't it? Sit in your chair. Don't run after Hildegard. Okay, thank you for letting me talk about these issues. So somebody wanted to say something?
I was going to say, the way I deal with really challenging stuff is I create comedy routines in my head. And I can never actually repeat them sort of really publicly because it's, you know, it would humiliate, it would call out somebody. But that would be the most brilliant comedy skit that you could put on, you know, I mean, video and put on YouTube or, you know, take to the National Co-Housing Conference. Wouldn't people love that?
That's a great idea. That could be one of our first
and it would be a
presentations.
resource for you. So there you go.
And a board of directors meeting.
I love the idea.
I think that's great.
I love the
I
idea.
just had this funny vision of someone walking out of the room and somebody who's not in this room, not knowing that they weren't supposed to run out after the person, and seeing Don get up and tackle that person.
There's a comedy routine. Yeah. The person goes crashing to the floor and Don stands up and said, "Did you know I was a fullback in high school?" So Janet,
A
you had
linebacker.
Oh, already. Well, see, he was in high school football. Janet, what were you going to say?
I wasn't sure I wanted to say it. My question was, excuse me, before Hildegard walks out, or no, before whoever she is walks out and says she's never coming back, is there a way for someone to appropriately value both people honestly?
Really, because some of the folks in the room will be very good at empathetic connection and nonviolent communication. And surely we have a circle in our structure of circles and double links that's specifically for healing conflicts. And that circle will be on point to connect with Hildegard. Don't you think?
Well, no, I was asking in the meeting,
No, I
before
know.
it goes to hell in a handbasket, which is okay if it needs to.
Yeah.
If it doesn't need to go to hell in a handbasket, is there a way in passing to appreciate both parties and
Well,
keep going
sure,
with the
but
meeting?
don't you think there is? I mean, you even thought of it. So you're even asking, is there a way? But I think what you're saying is, I wish there was a way, and probably there is a way. And somebody with skills like Chris has, I'm guessing, would say something and do something. Because we're not trying to create a bad situation.
Right.
We're trying to get a
I'm
good
not saying that
person
you
in
have
that
to.
role.
I'm willing to have the colonies to let somebody walk out of the room if that's what needs to happen. But the community's a little bit better off if we don't.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, and it's almost flying in the face of that, but when I train, one of the things we say at the very beginning is we trust you will do what you need to take care of yourself.
Oh, that's lovely.
We will not treat you as fragile, and if you walk out of the room, we will not follow you out of the room unless you ask, unless there's, and we will trust that you will ask for what you need, and we would encourage other people not to follow you out. Now, there are exceptions to that rule, and so it's not, a black and white. Sometimes something happens and it would just be very inhuman not to do it.
Sure.
And my hope is that we will, try and find a way to do that. But, with sociocracy, we've got a very set process. So,
Right.
you know, I'm sort of holding both of those.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind attention and humor and being willing to actually even look at this, because this is a tough one, isn't it? And I really appreciate you, and I appreciate the silly, funny things you've been saying. So just briefly, please don't elect somebody from an unlimited term. The fact that it's limited allows us to choose someone because we know that it's not going to be forever, and it allows us to consider folks we might want to help get good at it because we will give them role improvement feedback, as you'll soon see. Okay? Please don't ask for a volunteer. I think you already know why. Why is that? Mum's the word you already know. Why do we not ask for a volunteer? So who would like to do the role of blah, blah, blah?
Might not be suited.
What?
That person might not be suited to the role.
That's true, but there's another more deep reason having to do with the three values upon which sociocracy is based. Hint, hint. They're buried under one of the posters. Here they are.
Well, one thing I can pick up is that, that a really great candidate might not volunteer, and doing this process really
Right.
brings out the qualities of everybody. And this process also is group building. Like if I just said, I'm willing to be president, and I was like, okay, then you got it, then we wouldn't have this wonderful process of seeing each other's wonderful qualities
Yes.
and reflecting them back.
That's excellent. It's not only true, it's additional to the thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
So here's what I learned from John Bucknell. Let's say that we're going to go this way, and we're going to go through all of us. And let's say that, Janet, you're the facilitator. I keep electing you the facilitator for some reason. It's your big red shirt. Okay, so then you say, okay, now we're going to elect somebody for the role of blah, blah, blah. And you go, I'll do it. And you were going to nominate a different other person.
Right.
And so were you, and so was each of you. Maybe one of you would have nominated me, but all of a sudden I've wrecked the equivalence. You feel obligated not to, quote, hurt Diana's feelings because she wants to do it, and you saw how much she wanted to do it. She went, I'll do it, in that kind of like little kid way, you know. Oh my God. So naturally, Claire is going to nominate Diana because, you know, she feels obligated to. Each person will, and I'll think, they all wanted me. Well, none of them wanted me. I was just, you know, wrecking things. So thank you for letting me demonstrate that. That's why we don't do that. Do you see how that wrecks equivalence? Okay. We don't seek the perfect candidate, just like we don't seek the perfect proposal. When is the period of time the candidate needs to be good enough for? Good enough for?
Now.
How safe enough does a candidate need to be? Safe enough to try. Do we get to find out how they do?
Yes.
Okay, let's find out. Exactly the same three mantras of feedback loops applies here. Okay, you know this. Hey, shall we do a Hobbit skit? This is a quick one, very, very quick. We're going to elect somebody to carry the ring to the Mountain of Doom. Facilitator, once again, is Sam Gamgee. Lots of lines. We have 9 people. So I'm going to put the 9th one over here. And this is Frodo. And Frodo has more lines, but not that many.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just those 2 chairs, and we'll have 9.
You mean we could do it on that side?
Yeah.
Well, I would.
Oh, then you're not.
I'm thinking about videos.
Yes,
I'd love to
okay.
capture this on video. You can turn it? Sure. Okay, why don't you go ahead and put it in a position so you can get us here. And that's what we'll do.
It's probably not very tidy. It's probably got papers under the chairs.
That's okay.
Caffeine.
No big,
time.
no big.
I saw that.
Okay, so we need,
You're gonna go that way.
Gracious way of asking.
I guess I'll play today.
No, I wouldn't.
okay, so
Would you be willing to move to your left and let somebody can move?
No,
I was thinking, what a gracious way of asking.
Yeah, I was in the chorus last time. I don't know.
9. Okay,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And then he comes
Okay.
back, Cheryl. with-
So, I don't know whether you're going to get the role based on what chair you're sitting in, or if you'd like to switch chairs if you'd like the role. But the role with the most words, in case that is something you do like or that you don't like,
If somebody else wants it, they can have it, otherwise I'll take it.
is Sam Gamgee, once again.
That's volunteering, isn't it? That's not a good process.
Forget you.
I think Don
okay.
should do it, because he hasn't done a skate yet. Have you done?
Oh, there you go.
Just pass them out, we'll take whatever you give them.
Just pass them out, let's go.
Just pass them on. That would be fun.
Random
Okay,
delegation.
well, because it goes this way, that means this person who's sitting in this chair, do you feel comfortable having a lot of lines you haven't seen yet?
Sure.
Okay, great.
She'll deal with it.
She'll do. All right.
Deal with whatever.
So now you're going to hear my little.
Could I have the people in the middle squish? I'm missing one person, which happens to be Charlotte. It doesn't matter who I'm missing, but
Not everybody's in.
I think everybody's in. I think the audience might be invisible.
The audience is Sarah.
Clara, can you go a little bit further?
Yes. So your role is Frodo, and that's good because you have a lot of acting to do. Okay, so I have to tell you a very sad thing. I will be the chorus. This is not good for your ears, but what else are we going to do? And I'm going to be all four of the. No, that would be the next one. Okay. So please take some time to look through this relatively short skit to see where the yellow marks are, to see where your lines are, so that you know what to say.
Oops, I'm sorry, it isn't highlighted.
What did you say?
I need to get a highlighter.
Oh yeah, they're back there on the table. Sorry if I missed something. All right, have you had a chance to take a look? Oops. Does everybody need yellow markers? Okay, I'm going to assume you did. Okay. Sam Gamgee, also known as Clara, are you ready to start?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Should I go?
Yeah, the curtain rises.